Yoga has been stereotyped into many different things. A workout for hippies, a class you have to be flexible for, and a practice that will have you chanting. Chanting? Really?
Sometimes there is chanting, but it depends on the class, right? There's so many different kinds of classes and so many different offerings of the practice. So you could find yourself in a pretty heavy chanting class, or you could find yourself in a class where it doesn't happen and you're thinking, I kind of want to figure out, I want to experience that. And yoga's not a religion. I think that's really, really important to get across too. Do whatever feels right. If chanting feels awkward, don't do it. No one's going to judge you. And you have to make sure not to judge yourself too.
Okay, so chanting isn't necessary, but do we have to bend like a pretzel to be able to attend a yoga class?
You know, you don't really have to be flexible to do yoga. It's certainly not about that. That's just one of the many, many benefits of doing the practice. But so many people come in and they say, I can't touch my toes. How am I going to even get through a practice? And that's really not what it's about. You know, you do a couple practices, then magically, all of a sudden, you're beyond your toes.
And as much as many of us like the look of yoga clothes, do we have to wear tight outfits to class?
It's not a fashion show. I think first and foremost, it's about feeling really good. So if you don't feel good in what you're wearing, you're not going to have a good experience. And it's about moving around. So wearing something that's comfortable, something that you can move freely, something where you don't feel self-conscious.
Besides the clothes, the chanting, and the flexibility, one of the biggest stereotypes of yoga is that it isn't very challenging.
Yoga it's so multifaceted. A lot of people go in and they think, well, Madonna does yoga, so I'm gonna go in and she's got a pretty rockin' bod for 50 or whatever she is. And then they go in and then they think, okay, well, this is humbling, this is challenging. I wonder if I'm actually gonna reap the benefits of the rockin' yoga bod. And it just happens over time. It's one of those things where what you get out of it is what you're gonna put into it. I've worked up more of a sweat in a yoga class than I have running. And it's breath, it's working with your breath and the rhythm of your body and resistance and challenging poses where you're relying on the strength of your own body to hold it. And that mental endurance as well.
Now that we're on the same page of finding out what yoga's all about, there must be some etiquette, like personal space.
I like a couple feet between me and the person's mat beside me. If you stretch out your arms and you're worried about hitting them, then shuffle your mat forward or back. But then partner yoga is a really big thing where you can use someone else's body to get to a deeper expression of a posture. So, depending on the class you're in.
When it comes to talking in class, leave the chit-chat for after class, but don't be afraid to ask questions if you have them. And when it comes to bathroom breaks during the class,
you're definitely going to want to hit the washroom before you come in, grab that sip of water. I do believe that people should drink as much water as they can during a day. So if you need water during your practice, go for it. Just make sure that you've got maybe a bottle by your mat. You can have fun in a yoga class. It doesn't need to be a serious, tight-lipped experience. I think that's another misconception of yoga, is that it needs to be very, very serious and you can't laugh at yourself. Because truth be known, every single yoga class you go to, you will inevitably fall over.
So next time a friend asks you if you want to check out their yoga class, don't hesitate. It's a fun experience that isn't as foreign as you think.